Hey, anybody here love video games? Well, that's good because I'm streaming this on the release day of a game called Romeo is a Dead Man. Suda51 is really, really good. Also, it's been very funny watching all the fucking tourists get mad about Suda being a lefty. Like, okay, dude, yeah, you say that you played Lollipop Chainsaw. You haven't actually played the game just because you jacked off to AI gen porn that you found on Rule 34, dude. Just, yeah, okay. Or maybe you're completely illiterate and have just now learned how to read. Anyway, setting all that aside, there's also bad games that have released today, but we're talking to Brentilda, so that's unrelated. Oh, did I already talk to you earlier in the game? So she's not telling us about the tutorial. Instead, instead I'm skipping past that by pressing B instead of A. Saggy Maggie, what a fantastic. Yeah, moldy cheese toothpaste. Baked beans. I mean, that seems like a bit of a poor choice. I'm not even gonna go look at all of those. We're going to ignore a large part of those. We don't have to be comprehensive with getting the hints from Brentilda. We just kind of have to be lucky that we get asked the right questions or that we just intuit the answers properly. This is one of the things they throw into the game in order to try and, I guess, make you have to explore or something. It's a little bit goofy no matter what. Oh yeah, we're in this room. Watch out for that landmine. Oh, I thought you were about to say dinner for some reason. Thank you, Gruntilda. As insightful as ever. I don't need to do this in order to access the next area over. I just forgot how to get there, that's all. Fuck it. I don't need these right now. Because I'm sure that everybody knows what the first phase of the end game of Banjo-Kazooie is. Like, at this point, I don't have to tell anybody about any of that. Spoilers for games this old, they do technically exist, but also, like, quit whining. And also, I'm not really the sort of person who has much of a, wow. For once, that decided to be really ungenerous with the big dumb birds that I forget the name of. I think they're called big peckers, but I could be wrong about that because Rareware are, like, really immature. Anyway, I'm not a person who really has much of an opinion in either direction about the concept of spoilers. Like, okay, it's fine if it upsets you, I guess, but honestly, there's no reason for me to pick that up. It just was bothering me slightly. I personally like to see the ends of things to try to figure out how do we get here, you know? I think that's more interesting to think about on some level than just like, oh, well, you get it. I'm not going to be too abusive with that, though, in this chat, as much as the temptation is strong to just tell you all things about, like, the blonde girl from Madoka gets her head bit off and stuff like that. But come on, you already knew that. And if you come into this VOD and you didn't know that, or you try to act like you didn't, well, I'm calling your bluff here. Also, look at this goofy platform. Okay, I thought the cauldron was out here. No, it's inside then. Yes, that's right, everybody. Here's the first phase of our final battle against Gruntilda. It's a quiz show for some reason. Oh, those zany Brits. And she's really monologuing here about things. Really having to explain to us what this is, past telling us, hey, it's a quiz show. Thanks. All right, so we walk in this tile. We press A to be able to use it. This game, yes indeed. What do you got? Mumbo's Mountain is easy for sure. How many jigsaws open its door? 1. Come on, you act like I've never played a video game, you fool. So once we do that, we're allowed to go to the next one. Where have I been? Oh, that's Rusty Bucket Bay. God, fuck that place. Anyway, I've played at least some parts of this game enough to not be fooled by stuff like that. So there's some more rules and such that I will explain in a moment. Shut up. Bubble Loop Turtle Choir is swell, but what's on the back of each shell? A musical... A bigger turtle! I do like that concept, though. At least some of the answers are funny. Alright, here's one about noises. Let's shut up. Freeze Easy Peak. God, I know this game's leitmotifs a little too well, don't I? If I'm just immediately intuiting that. That is inside the Walrus's Cave. Okay, yeah, they asked for, like, full sub-levels. So, over here. This one is special. Just one chance to get this right. Win a Joker, and help it might. These are used to dodge questions if you don't want to take them. Oh, shit. You actually are sending me one that I don't know. So, straight down the middle for us, and de nada. However, as you can see, it lit up anyway, so we're not allowed to get our Joker cards. Which is unfortunate, because it would be really nice to be able to skip some of these. But hey. Let's take a look at this. Oh, that's rough, but that is Gobi's Valley, I believe, inside the pyramid. Yes. That's a really awful zoom. You can tell that some of these are actually made to be hard. What is the leaking bucket's name? Mr. Civ and Holy. No, it's Leaky, apparently. I thought that was just a description, but who can say for sure? Now. This one. We get to do some mini games now, everybody. Big difference here is that we're on a timer, but hey. I think that's actually already the case for this. 75 seconds. I cannot recall, but I also can't recall the pattern of this area, so I guess don't be surprised if I muff this up horribly. But we'll find out sooner rather than later. I said muff. It's like one of those things that they would try to sneak into a game like this. Because the writer's room at Rareware is filled with children. Emotionally, I mean. Emotionally is not really the right word, but you get what I'm saying. They are excruciatingly immature. So let's take a look at what our life holds for us. I wish I could see the whole board right now, but you're not allowed to zoom around in this, apparently. Now, I would like to try to avoid the skulls because, unsurprisingly, the skulls are instant death, but they're also any category. So . Oh, I was gonna say I missed half the question, but apparently her pet was not a baby dragon. I think we saw this one and it was like... No, it was not. Because now I'm like, shit, did we talk to that one? But I don't remember. I am at this point just throwing guesses at this because I didn't feel like looking this up. Or talking to the Brentildas. Well, I mean, clearly you're already... If we end up dying to this, I will actually go and check some of these to see what the deal is. But if only because it's funny. She wishes she slept in a pile of treasure, I'm sure, until she thinks about, There we go, we finally got one of them. Hooray! How did you know? Anyway, here we go. Skull panel. The sound barrier. A large key. Obviously. Yeah, so randomly guessing through these does seem to suck a little bit, so let's see what kind of, Oh, these are fun. Cactus, clearly. Baked beans, right. We saw that one earlier, so... If I got that wrong, that'd be slightly embarrassing. Ship has 3 funnels. Engine room has 4 cogs. There are 4 lifeboats. 3 funnels? No, it's 4 lifeboats. I didn't remember that. Well, the sound was made when we landed in the thing. Unfortunately, we do fully reset. So I think it might be useful for us to actually go and talk to the Brentildas. So whatever I was doing before about, like, not doing that, I should go gather a couple more. And at least technically get some information about her instead of just... the one specific factoid that we know about her, which is that she gets hurt by eggs, probably. Yeah, no, that was just a very funny little taunt there. Hey, you. Favorite pastime is bursting boils. And a B button to keep. Oh, dirty birdie. Wow, that's... You're having fun there. Wow, alright. I forgot that B doesn't advance through this. A greasy warthog. And actually, that sounds like it takes a lot of effort to care and maintain for a warthog. Especially if you gotta make sure it continues to have enough grease. I assume that it doesn't necessarily generate its own grease. I remember where a couple of these are. I think there's one in the jigsaw room for the other place? Click Clock Woods? TikTok Clock? Whatever it's called. Oh no, TikTok Clock is a different game. Whoops. Massive bloomers. Oh, they're quite heavy, apparently. Let's see, pet dog. Big Naka? Grunty and the Broomstick Boys. That sounds like somebody trying a little too hard to make them sound like they're from the 50s or something. Sitting by the TikTok clock of the bit. I will accept this joke, Roundy. That's a good one. Alright. Cauldron butt. Oh, now you're being silly. Sweaty gorilla feet. Dung brown. Yeah. I don't know. I figured. You gotta go with the classic, right? The green. And it's gruesome. That sounds at least cool-ish, but eh. Possibly making some stuff up. Yeah, I mean, to be fair. Listen, she's definitely not nice. We'll say that, but you know, maybe if someone gave her a shot once in a while, we could have avoided this whole mess. On the other hand, doesn't that interfere with the ontological evil aspect of the narrative? But let's not necessarily go there. This is definitely a case. You know, it's not like Mr. Bones, where I'm pretty sure that the writer's room actually were trying to do something other than have jokes. Meanwhile, this is just objectively, we have jokes, the game, the writing, the extremely British nature of a lot of it sometimes. Parentheses, massively derogatory, BT dubs. Listen, Roundy, I did record like 20 minutes or so of a video about that glass shards level in Mr. Bones. Don't fucking tempt me. Actually, if I was going to be tempted by that, I think I'd have to at least wait for you to become a patron so that way I could say that's why. Anyway, don't feel obligated. Anywho, belly barging. Saint Dungball. Dungball? Okay, I mean, you're making that up. Eating a bucket of beans. Not the ones she washed her hair with earlier, I hope. Recycled beans. I mean, I've heard of refried beans, but I think that's different. Sleeps in a pigsty. I mean, that's... I've heard that used as just sort of a, you know, more of a metaphorical thing. So that's not necessarily much of a, polishing her crystal ball. I'm going to pause just shy of the... No, I'm not. I'm not going to pause shy of the joke. I'm gonna say that somebody else could absolutely just take that and make a different type of gag out of that on the internets nowadays. But yes, that will be a thing that gets released to be very serious about the aforementioned video. I'm currently editing it. I would like to get it out on either Sunday or Monday. Depends on how, like, fast I am at editing things. And I admit that I'm not always fast at editing things. I just have to basically place the visual elements at this point. I did all the audio editing and all that stuff already, so... Yes, the answer here is soon. And then people can be like, wow, what the fuck happened to this channel? Fatty Hattie. Oh, you're stretching it a little bit. That text was moving a little bit slow there. Big Butts and Guts magazine. Yes, the Guts Man magazine. Yes. Cold worm juice. Is there something about the worm juice being cold that makes it worse? Or is it, like... Does that part not actually matter? And it's just like, well... It's because cold beverages don't sound as good. As someone who mostly drinks cold beverages, well, actually, I would disagree with that, but hey. Maybe I'm the one who's a weirdo, at least according to whoever was working for Rare at this point. Probably just the entire Stamper clan and like one composer or something, which at that point would have been Grant Kirkhope. Because they looked over at David Wise and were like, no, you're too good. Actually, I have no idea what is to do with David Wise's career after the DKC trilogy. Tadpoles on toast. I mean, that doesn't sound very appealing. Maggot pie for dinner. Eat the rest of your food first. Eesh. Wart bags. Eyeball ice cream. That's a strange thing that I feel like you would definitely see in some sort of, like... I don't know. Yeah, no, Brentilda is still kind of an asshole. Granted, I think that there's also kind of a thing to be said here that the only nice person in this game is Banjo. I mean, granted, Bottles kind of has a reason to be a bit of a dick to Kazooie because she started it, but also... You know... How'd you get the socks? Why'd you... who cares? That'd be weird. An eyeball flower. I don't know, that actually sounds kind of cool. No, that's just an unfortunate something. Anyway. Let's make our way back to this direction and be careful along this winding path. Remember, even if we're using a controller that's newer than an N64, and even on a recomp, they may have smoothed some things out, but let's not trust these controls to not be N64 as hell. No, don't do that. That won't work. That, however, does just fine. Just takes a few shots through these things to get the picture. Well, let's go in here and hope that we remember some of these. I might actually do okay. I might just have my memory shocked by seeing a couple of the phrases. Obviously, we didn't see all of them, but hey. Do you pronounce bud as bud, then? Because wood is definitely not pronounced wood in any dialect that I'm aware of. That is... Ooh, that's a well. That is Mad Monster Mansion, then. One of those. Your department head, who is also into jam bands, notified you that String Cheese Incident has some Texas dates in May. Neat! Crass is a good word for it. I think that's a few too many. Oh, fuck off. Go down the middle. Yeah! Playing Dallas for the first time since 2002. Nice! Alright, focus up. It's click, clock, wood. Yeah, I mean, on them to make that one hard where they just didn't give you any, like, almost any of the leitmotifs, so... Leitmotif. Blah, blah, blah. Virgin Rusty Bay, tell me what on the shelves lay. That would be some eggs. Grunty's high-fat spread. Yes, that is... I don't recall if I said that earlier. I might have said it in an earlier VOD, but yes, that is randomized per playthrough. That actually, I do not know offhand. That is just kind of a fireplace. It's not Bubble Gloop. It might be Click Clock Wood. Ooh. Yeah, I thought it might have been the squirrel because I saw, like, vague brown shapes pass by, but I wasn't sure if I was just hallucinating that or if the game was glitching out or something. Because usually you don't get a whole lot of animation in these. Middle, what tall object solves this riddle? That'd be Juju the totem pole. Okay, minigame time. These we cannot skip. Oh, fuck right off! Your chances are slim indeed. We've got a... And it's round 3. Okay, all right. Oh, good. I got because I was in the middle of the conversion. Good. I'm so glad. This is some intolerable cruelty indeed. Eesh. Oh, and of course, all the red boys over there have popped down already. Fuck. Yeah, no, that's not nice. Putting that in there. And then, of course, on the other on the other side of things. We got the suicide bees. They gave you 30 seconds for that one for some reason. The broomstick. I do not think we saw this one, so it wasn't that, so it was not the Rough Rider Deluxe either. Yeah, so we didn't see this one. Oh, yeah, we know their favorite color is dung brown. As she's wearing black robes and stuff, so let's press B and skip that. Because, yeah, I'm perfectly fine with skipping over any of the ones that are that. Hanging from your bedroom roof, you say, as opposed to ceiling. But, I mean, that's splitting hairs a little bit, isn't it? Yeah, well, let's go over this way and go grab some more Joker cards. That's the dolphin, I think. The dolphin is named Snorkel, not Aqualung. I almost got thrown off there because I was looking only at like what type of animal it was, and then they threw two dolphins at me. It's not a Jethro Tull reference. Parentheses, I'm pretty sure that Aqualung is technically a trademarked name anyway, so... Oh, that's Freezeezy Peak, isn't it? Yeah. It's like the equivalent of getting jeans with holes cut in them already, except stranger. Ooh, yikes, that's the racist voice. Can I remember this guy's name? Oh no, it told us Snake Charmer. So, good enough. The snake doesn't make a regular Banjo-Kazooie type of voice. Oh yeah, we already completed that one. Whoops! That's Treasure Trove Cove. They gave us one of the chests right there. That's too much of a giveaway. Come on. Don't give me the too obvious hint there. Skip the skull. Skip the skull. Wow. That's Treasure Trove Cove again. You're really thinking about this place. You just want to go on vacation, don't you? Also, don't call me a goon. A treasure bucket. What? Now you're just making up world names. Are you that desperate to make me look like an ass? Because you know, I'm not going to need the help. Oh, God. Not again. Oh, shit. Oh, hey. Become controllable again. No! Of course that would happen. Okay, I was about to be very upset if that had somehow counted against me because... Did you see that? He was going straight for it, and he turned away on a dime. I wouldn't be able to do that even if I wasn't wearing the shoes, which the shoes, by the way, do kind of screw up your ability to control yourself a little bit. And another tie! God! Ugh. I think that should give you a chance for a rematch. Oh, no, we have to fight this the regular way, don't we? So I guess this will show off the way that... Are you showing me my gold feathers? Basically, yeah, so it's kind of an asteroid splitter if you don't just kill the main box immediately. We ran ourselves out of gold feathers for that, but ultimately that's not truly super hard, but I guess how many mini games do they really have or something? See, there's a Jinjo. What color he be? That is the blue Jinjo, if I recall correctly. It's not the black Jinjo. That's not a thing that exists. Yet. That's Gobi's Valley. That's a wonderful camera angle, though. Very flattering. Basically about as close as you can get to going straight up the Kazooie statue's cloaca there. Massive bloomers. A flea circus. That's... that's a lot of space. Christmas pudding. Yeah, there's definitely trees there. Okay. So we can skip that and we can go for this gamble for the Joker cards here. That's Clanker's place. I was gonna say, it could be a part of Grunty's lair, because there were a couple of those, but not that many. Alright. What do you got for me? Oh, hey, it's Stonehenge, for some reason. That's Mumbo's Mountain. Well, at least that was, like, completely free. Thank you! Was that Big Butts and Guts, right? Yes! I remember. Ooh, that sounds like a lot of characters' voices. I think that's the squirrel. Conker getting a bit of a stealth shot out there. Could you not? With this fucking crocodile minigame. Jesus, man. Oh, I was way late on that one. I deserved to get burned there. Not that I'm going to be happy about it, but I deserved it anyway. Shit. That was just bad performance on my part. Controls, please. I sure would like to have some. Oh, no, no, no. We actually got that. Oh, my God. But 3 fucking times, man. This game's a real dick. Anyway. I guess they gotta make things really upset. Highest above the ground is a mud hut. It's not a muddy turtle. It's not even a regular turtle. But we're just gonna skip these and go straight to the end. Yes, we all love an anticlimax. Oh, I think you got scammed, Grunty. Off she goes. now we get this funky thing here. Look at that mashed up washing machine. That's not very specific. Wow, okay, Kazooie. Why are you and Banjo friends? All right. I've had enough adventuring for one day. Yeah, I mean, adventure is a good way to put it. Oh, that's neat. And yeah, here we go. We got ourselves a little pre-credit sequence here, where we get part of the credits, and then we get a bunch of the character and or enemy names here. And soon we'll probably get to see some really bad jokes in among everything. Yeah, see, this one has a hyphen in the name, not like the other one that we had to mention earlier. It's not any of the dumb enemy names yet somehow. But we'll get there eventually. Sandy butt. Oh, this prick. Glad to see him again. And by that I mean... Oh, speaking of which, big noisemaker. Oh, this guy is here again for some reason. Yeah, Tip Top was there. They love this walrus noise. It's a weirdly phallic tree. Here's the camel. Our friend that we hurt frequently. Oh, Toots was the name of whatever that thing there was. Next to the racist character. And here's this ghost who existed for 5 seconds. Talking turlet. And there we go, Snorkel the dolphin, who cannot possibly have lived through that. Didn't like one of those nicknames. Oh, I am sure I have been paying very little attention to them, to be honest with you. Oh, hey, you're from... Well, that version of Naughty looks a little bit different, but that was the name of the beavers in DKC. Oh, well, maybe I'll go back and look at it later and be like, oh, that's really unfortunate and absolutely the exact sort of thing that I would expect to see in a Rareware game. You know, and among all the other things that, yeah. We just kind of felt like doing it for no good reason. Like, what? Did none of you know that? Oh, wait, no. 2D is the only person here with any brain cells. Okay, thank goodness they do teleport us out right here at the very end of things, so we get to go up the side doors. I thought for some reason we had to step on the platform, so... Anyway, with all that out the way, let's backflip up here and collect this one up. Because if I recall correctly, this final boss is a bit of a bastard. But I freely admit that I last fought this final boss over a decade ago on an emulator that I was playing with a laptop. I mean, granted, this is kind of an emulator too in its own right. But still. First thing we do is we open up a note door that asks us for 810. And now we get this picture with literally nothing. To fill it up is no mean feat. Lots of jiggies make it complete. Yeah, it's a biggin. How much of a biggin? 25. 25 is what you need. So that is 94 jiggies that you need total to beat the game. So I guess you need about 94% completion. Hold up, I'm going to crack out my calculator here real quick and go 810 divided by 900. Shut up, Grunty, I'm busy. Okay, yeah, so that's... I should have been able to figure that out. Wow. That is 90% of all the notes that you require and 94% of jiggies. So yeah, around 90-ish% completion. And we got a Klungo or whatever over here. Yeah, he takes only 2 hits from the Rat-a-tat Rap because there's like some sort of vague damage levels that exist in this game, but it's very hard to tell. Anyway, I'm not interested in you right now. 864. There's some more note doors over here, and they lead us to nice, full resupplies of everything. I think 882 was the highest one that we saw. But 828 gets us some eggs. That one was like 860 or something. Here's 882, which, for reference, 882 divided by 900 is 98% of notes. And over here, it leads to another puzzle. And for a measly 4 jiggies, which is about all we've got left, it turns our health red. We get double health from that. So yes, if you want that, you need 98% completion, basically. Plus whatever amount of honeycomb bits that you feel like picking up. And lastly, red feathers for 846, I believe that was. And yeah, okay. Let's go talk to this guy. I don't think he does because he's locked in here. Strange birdie thing. Yeah, I mean, there's not many other places. Oh, is that why it's all green? Because that's the color of cartoon vomit? Have you considered tracking down a non-sentient object to do this all with, Gruntilda, or is the cruelty the point? Or, for that matter, are there non-sentient objects in the Banjo-Kazooie universe? I don't think there are. Come on, Kazooie, you get a chance to peck the witch's butt. Let's go. You know what? I think that's a fair bit of, like, encouragement. Come on, you get to peck the witch's butt. I'm sure, but also the incredible velocities we achieve will just burn that shit off. Only one of us is furry, come on. The other one is feathery. Alright, first things first, we gotta dodge some stuff, I think. Whoa, no, I'm thinking ahead. Yeah, so this part is a timing No, pardon me. Wow! We gotta hit her while she's doing that. That's my bad. I forgot that she actually, like, stalls out in the middle of her, her swoops here. And she tries to throw fireballs at us. Oops. Huh, not 3 hits for this. I'm kind of surprised because it's a rare game, so rule of 3 is generally, like, frequently enforced. Okay, yeah, this one is best blocked with the gold feathers. It might be possible to just sort of lure the homing shots into a solid object, but I don't actually know. That's my fault. I wasn't thinking. You gotta do a bit of a swap there. And now get into range. Preferably not have the camera start whipping around like it's partaken of some sort of fun beverage a little early, like Banjo and Co. were, but chuck some eggs out there. Is this the part where she starts also following up the salvo with a... No, okay. Because there is a part where she will start ending the set of shots with a homing attack. Not like a 3D Sonic one. That would just be silly. But you know what I'm talking about. Oop. Okay, so we can actually hit her during those, so that's cool. Whoa! Oh, that is rule of 3 for that one, as opposed to what we were seeing before with, like, 4 hits. And her throwing out 4 fireballs. Although, she now seems to be I was gonna say, is she mixing up the pattern, or is it just because we interrupted her last time? It's just because we interrupted her last time. Okay. Yeah, and that's why you want to be real careful about this. All right, one more set, I'm sure. And then she will drop off a health unit. Yeah, but you can see she's getting a lot faster here, so things are going to get a little bit tight. Whoa! I think I deserved that for phrasing things that way or something, but... Oh, hey, fuck! Actually, hold up for just a moment here. Just to round things out, I am going to go into my controls. And I'm going to see all this shit that's like, oh, hey, D-pad buttons. You literally don't use the effing D-pad for this game, so I'm going to do that real quick. So that way I have a little bit more precision. We're getting into a little bit of the situation where it's the thing that I don't like about, you know, having the C buttons on a stick. Oh, Jesus. This is great. I love aerial combat in this game. It's not janky or anything. Whoa. Oh, I thought we were about to, like, slam into the wall of the skybox there. Because, of course, all these things have limits and stuff. I did not lead the target nearly enough there. But yeah, I'm quite bad with the beak bomb, so that's gonna be a bit of a problem throughout this section. Oh shit, I led the target too much there. Yikes! Damn. If my hitbox was just a little bit bigger, I would have gotten that, but I mean, in that case, if my hitbox was just a little bit bigger, I probably would have had no trouble with this whatsoever at any point in the game, but I digress. I just wanted to pick up that extra red feather. Yikes. I was aiming a little to the right there anyway. I realized that when I was winding up. There we go. Would you please just be done already? Would you kindly cease and desist? Oh, what, are you still going? Is it because of the Irish accent? Oh, never mind. Okay, so at this point, I believe it's back down to the ground, and we have to deal with her slinging shit around, and yes, 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 okay. This is the part that I thought it was. All right, now you gotta remember to bob and weave a little bit here. Oh, we might be about to eat a hit here anyway, but yeah, because we get a little bit of like a cutscene attack here. There are 4 Jinjos to deal with. Your anger is growing big, huh? Shit, we're too close to it. And again. Ow. Yeah, these are no longer cutscene attacks anymore. Yikes. Shit. Yikes. That lasted a lot longer than I thought it would have. And then, of course, we just walk into the attack, right? That's just kind of how we do. Anywho. This is the last phase, I believe. We just have to do a lot of waiting around, basically, through a salvo of some shit. Block that. Now, I wish very badly that I could activate multiple of my C button abilities at once. But unfortunately, no. So, of course, adding some irritation to the proceedings. First of all, the fuck. I did not get my new Xbox controller, unfortunately, because the package got delayed or something, I guess. But, I mean, if I don't finish this, I mean, I'm going to be very sad if I fail at this point, but it's looking quite likely. Fuck. Yeah, I got shot out of the air there. Oh, man. The landing hits on the... First of all, the Banjo statues are not great to hit. I'll say that. They are very small targets. And as we saw, you can be too close to them. Which is a bit awful. And also, the Ginginator, I think, requires 4 eggs per port. Possibly 5. Either way, it is a number that is kind of like just bad enough to be an issue. Oh, fuck. Pause for a sec. Okay, no, she was just throwing out an extra fireball there. I thought... I thought that was the start of the fireball phase, but it's not. We're still dealing with this. She's throwing them out so slow now. Now that I'm so used to the later parts of the fight, Banjo, turn around. Alright. Feel no pain, you might want to have that looked at, maybe. It's usually not necessarily such a good thing as it sounds. Because then you don't know when to stop. Oh, yes, good. It's not easy for us to get a full salvo in like that. Full salvo the slime. Oh, Yoshi's Island. That's another game I'm exceptionally bad at. I mean, what else is new, but also, man. Yeah, we definitely were playing with fire there, and not just because of the attacks that she's using. Strafe. Using strafe as a noun, not for, a noun, a verb, not for movement, but for shooting at somebody. I mean, that is a valid use of the term. It's just slightly unusual, I feel like. In my brain, I'm like, I never think that's right. I love that that counted. So that very definitely like went through the part of the hat where, unless she has like a massive conical head, which I mean, you combine that with the chin, does she just kind of look like, does she just have a head shaped like Mac Tonight under there? That reminds me, I probably should go find it and just have a picture of it somewhere, because downstairs on a desk, I believe my mom has a figure that I can only describe as it's Drew Carey with a Mac Tonight head. This might have been a thing that was issued by McDonald's at some point, or it might have been from somewhere else, but it is a befuddling object. Yeah, I feel like I need a picture of that somewhere in the collection of wherever I collect things. I guess just crammed into the Discord server somewhere. I have no idea of its precise provenance, but it is odd. Oh, you're doing this, okay. You're using the bubble, you just were waiting a few million years for it. Alright, now dodge around a little bit to try to avoid getting strafed. Actually, if it's Planar Chaos Universe, we're doing it to avoid getting sunlanced, but... Oh, careful. I was too busy trying to line up here. Well, at least we were protected from that fireball because she overshot a little bit as well. Oh, fuck my life. Oh, god damn it. Ugh. This part sucks. At least we're, like, safe all the way underneath the statue, it seems like, but, man. When we're actually in a range where we can hit it, we're not... For fuck's sakes, man! How many times am I going to not get... like... You can see that this isn't just me being bad at a video game! This is the video game being bad at the video game now! Like, are you kidding me? Seriously, they're... Why are they not landing? Unless it's an order thing, which the game isn't telling me. Perhaps I wouldn't get mad at video games if they ever actually worked. This can no longer just be blamed on me being bad at the game. And I'm sure that some people will be like, oh, well, it's because you're bad at the game. And I am, but I'm not that specific kind of bad at the game. I'm a slightly the same kind of bad at the game. But that one I cannot take responsibility for because that shit ain't on me. Oh, turn around. Yikes. Well, no, I know I'm bad at video games. And I know when I am bad at video games, but also I can also recognize when we're having a bit of a problem here because that ain't right. Yeah, that time I was slightly off. I will give it that. But when I'm shooting like right down the middle within about 20%, that's, yeah, like that. What do you fucking mean? Why are they crashing? Well, I guess they... Okay, I'm gonna stand here for a second. I know that these don't hit. That time I actually did get hit, so that's unfortunate. But I wanted a moment to breathe here, because... Yeah, see, I think one of the problems is that I'm just barely off-center, which also, I mean, part of that is kind of due to the fact that the camera angles do kind of be awful. Fuck you! Yeah, see, we're getting cheated here. I'm gonna die to this part of the boss before it actually gets hard because of that. Like, there's just something up with that. It's either the hole is just... Either it's too small of a place for us to shoot the eggs into, or they're doing it on purpose. So it's like, is it bad by accident or is it bad on purpose? It's up to you to decide. Text the number on your screen right now. Oh, wait. Oh, that's a good place for that. I definitely kind of rolled the dice a little bit there, but yeah, you got to be careful because you can't really hit her from behind so much. Once again, I was over gambling a little bit here. Yeah, see, now she seems to know how to do this or something. Whoa. This is almost a little bit bad. See, I don't necessarily dislike this boss. I'll say that. There's a lot of stuff going on And it's a pretty alright idea. It's just that there's one very big issue there. Quite frankly, by the standards of the... Oh, god damn it. Whoops. Yeah, by the standards of the genre, that's actually pretty good. It's just that there's that one tiny little problem there, and tiny is the operative word, because... Yes. If it weren't for that, if the hit detection was, like, actually good-ish. You know, if it was specifically better on that one thing, then... Then yeah. I guess I could see about that, and we could just be like, wow, I do not remember how to play any NES games, really. Oh, I failed to dodge that one. That's just all on me. I think I forgot that we were getting a fireball that soon. Remember to do the little circle run. Whoa. Whoa, hey. The chunk there kind of screwed me up. Hey. I wasn't ready. Oh well. Happens. We're having a rough time of it during this phase of the fight for some reason. And that some reason is because I'm playing it badly. I really should be lining this up more so that way she, like, goes to the corners. Because it will give me better long stretches to potentially hit her on during this attack. Can't get me over here, huh? You know what's interesting is that we don't get any real reason to do the C down, and that's the only thing that I guess is missing from this, really. We use pretty much all of our other moves. I mean, I guess technically you don't use any of the shoes, but that's kind of small time. Whoa! Shit. I chickened out a little bit early on that one, I think. That was our break. I just wasn't sure how deep into the thing we were, because I was not really thinking about that too much. I was just thinking about landing some hits. Yikes. Okay, so we should be like 2 more shots into the salvo here, but also we're at such a point where they're so fast that there's pretty constant activity there. Wherein such boundaries become fairly academic, you know. Alright, here we go. Yeah, I don't need to pick that up right now. I'll take the health because I'm not at full. And I know that in theory it's like, well, maybe I should wait until that's a bit more of an emergency, but let's be sure. Whoa, hey. Look. I should be able to patch French Vanilla Quest 64 without too much issue. Oh, shit. Of course. Hey, at least we didn't crash there. That definitely kind of sounds like what I would expect out of, well, out of Platonic / Rare, or just this game in general, really. I mean, it could be. Whoa! Couldn't tell which direction it was coming from. Whoops. Here, I'm curious about something. Can we... No, that's not... Well, one of them did get in there, so that's technically a technique. It's just not good. Oh, that was actually kind of helpful. It's just not what I wanted to do there. What lives? I don't have any of those. And most of it is because I usually died in, like, the stupidest way possible. Oh. Pay attention, me. Alright, we got that one. Is that the one that gave us trouble last time? Probably not. I don't think there's any real differentiation going on there, but... Well, that time we landed an egg in there, so that's good. Hey, we got the orange Jinjo. We're now down to the last one. Oops. Forgot she leads the target, I guess. I just got so excited about the prospect of actually beating this. Fuck. Whoa, hey! The momentum. Wow, all right. The explosion radius in these things is effing huge, apparently, by the way. Like, way bigger than you would think. Okay, so now it's time for the Ginginator. Doesn't tell me what I'm gonna do, what he's gonna do if I activate the Ginginator. Oh, shit. You fool. Press the correct buttons there. What? Get out of there. By the way, that happened from me setting the... I was using the D-pad for that, so I guess that's how you achieve... First, stop that! Oh my god, this is not the fucking time, game. Not the time to be showing me your cool new feature that you suddenly decided to have work. Interesting that we found that out at the very end, though, but still not the time. You're scaring the pants off me here, game. Oh, shit. Why did I do that? That just led to my own undoing there a little bit. You see, clearly it's because I'm trying to give her a little bit of, buttons. Did you want to take my inputs? It saw how cavalier I was being with the feathers, and it's like, you don't fucking need these. Idiot. You don't remember how to play the game. And there we go. We're at 1 health. Thank goodness I somehow pulled it out. Oh boy, I played that last part like absolute dog shit, didn't I? But we got there. And apparently the mightiest force in the Banjo universe is a big blue Jinjo. Also, she's got one hell of a grip on her. That's not how being fat and getting hit by a fast-moving large object works, I don't believe. I don't think... I haven't been hit by very many large objects, but, like... I think she's got neodymium magnets in those shoes. Oh, pardon me, she's British, so the phrase there is neodymium, I believe. Now, the story goes that originally that spell was supposed to, like, hit Banjo, and there'd be an extra phase where you had to do something as some other character in order to reverse it. But I don't know if that's actually true. In fact, it's probably a load of shit. Because, hey, it's a rumor on the internet. There's, like, no way it's true. Can you breathe under there? I just made you say underwear. Do, 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 do. Anyway, we beat the final boss, and here's a very obvious joke about this woman with huge melons. Anyway, have I played Super Paper Mario? I have not. I'll be back in a couple of minutes. I'm going to go refill my water bottle because I didn't do that before stream. And, you know, stay hydrated and all that. Listen, it's actually good advice. I just hate whenever I hear it because it feels so insincere because of how memey it is. It's like when people say fuck cancer. Like, yes, I agree with the sentiment, but also, man, I don't know. I've said some bad things about people who have died of smoking-related cancers, and it's not just because it's me, but somehow that almost feels like less so because you're just saying the phrase "fuck cancer" and it's this one that like comes from out of nowhere. I don't know. It's a sentiment that I agree with. I just don't like how it's phrased for some reason. Maybe it's just because it's such a stock thing that's said by everybody on the internet, and I don't know. Sincerity is a thing that is exceedingly rare in this game. Speaking of rare in this game, the entire developer, but rare in this universe, I mean. Especially on the internet. The internet is, like, really bad about people not wanting to be sincere about certain things. And it's really ruined people's perception of a lot of media. Anyway, back in 5, probably less. Okay, I missed like 99% of the enemy names. Were any of them horribly offensive? It's a British game, I kind of expect. Anyway, that's just mean, probably. I wonder also sometimes, I guess, to follow up on this discussion regarding the phrase fuck cancer, if it's because I've become, like, overly sensitive as an adult, maybe. You know, now that I'm in my 30s or something, which is disturbing to think about. Like, I frequently think about the fact that the Thomas Lee 1,000-yard stare picture, which I know you have all seen it before, but I'll go grab a link to it on Wikipedia to cover things. Hold up here. Yeah, you've all seen this picture. It's become a big meme on the internet, and there's something about that that rubs me the wrong way. I don't know if, which is kind of why I characterize myself at least a little bit of like, okay, am I just like, am I a person who is a little bit too, like, sensitive about a lot of these things? I guess also, like, in some ways, because related to current events, I suppose, in the world of gaming. So I mentioned earlier today that Suda51's Romeo is a Dead Man came out today, but today is also the release day of Edmund McMillen's new game, which is about cat, we'll say cat breeding to be polite about it, but he has named the game Mewgenics. And there's this part of me that's just like, bruh. And I mean, listen, it's one of those things, right, that a lot of my friends also very quickly cottoned on to the amount of dead cats and stuff in Isaac that were like, and they were like, you know, this is unacceptable in various ways. And I understand that it's supposed to be at least somewhat horror comedy. Dead Estate does it better. Anyway, and not for the reasons that you think. But it was sort of like this thing where it's like, okay, you could probably make it an excuse that Edmund McMillen is a guy who's had some experience being brought up in an abusive religious household. But then you look at that and it's like, okay, this kind of gives the game away. This isn't an exploration of some deeper anything like that. It's just you being offensive, dude. You just want to hurt people's feelings. He's a relic of a former peer, you know, he's a relic of much older history. And if I want to look at something of like a relic from an older piece of internet history, I'll just read Andrew Hussey's comics again. Which I really don't think I should. But yeah, that's just like a big... I don't know, that's got to be like the biggest reddest flag for me right now about a large part of the internet, is that people are just letting that occur. Oh, speaking of things that I'm just letting occur, I'm just letting this explanation occur. He's showing off what was supposed to be Stop and Swap, but it was vetoed for reasons that are obviously, yeah, it is like, okay, there is some plausible deniability, and then you do that. It reminds me on some level of Amanda Palmer, former member of the Dresden Dolls, nowadays known as someone who helped Neil Gaiman abuse a lot of people. Sometime during her career as a musician, she started an act with, I think the guy's name was Jason Webley, where they were appearing as a conjoined twin character named Evelyn. And it was supposed to be like this sort of circus freak show kind of description. Now, obviously, Amanda Palmer is a person who faced a lot of not great shit in her life up to that point, but it's like, you don't have connection to that kind of pain. It's not even nearly on the same level as making a fucking cat eugenics game, though. That's just like, bro, I have seen games that are openly about murdering people of various political minorities that are less offensive than that. Parentheses, I'm stretching a little bit for a gag here, but also, like, Jesus Christ. There's a certain level to which that does kind of cast anything that you could say about any of the other shit in a very bad light. Where it goes from hitting someone's no-go zone to, it's 2026, why are you joking about eugenics unless you're actually a Nazi? Well, see, I would say something there, but that kind of idea does also seem like it's up Rareware Street. Anyway. That's Banjo Recompiled. The recomp does what it's supposed to pretty well, especially now that I know that you can bind the C buttons to buttons to actually do a proper first-person view. But the game itself, well, the game itself has aged quite a bit, I think. It's still decent. Compared to a lot of other 3D platformers of this era, I say it plays at least slightly above average. There's some parts of it that I find significantly more annoying than I did when I was young. And also, now that I kind of realize that, hey, there was a lot of really racist shit in here that I did not understand as such when I was younger, it is kind of like, wow, this ain't great. I would say that if you want to play this game today, don't. But this is definitely a good way to do it, aside from that. But also, there's better recomps out there. The Quest 64 recomp isn't even done, and it's better than this. But that's by virtue of the quality of the game. I definitely say the Goemon one above this, even though we discussed the ways in which that particular Goemon game was a little bit problematic. But yeah, you're probably going to play it eventually. Well, be advised, I suppose, that there are things to be advised of. Anywho, I should probably cut this VOD off.